Welcome to Sleepy Hollow, a town haunted by a dark legacy and a story that has terrified generations. It is the Headless Horseman, the spirit of an enraged soldier who was brutally killed, unable to find peace to this day. He seeks vengeance on anyone who dares to enter his woods. Are you ready for a journey into terror? Let's begin. In the state of New York lies a small village known as Sleepy Hollow. The town appears peaceful, surrounded by dark forests and quiet rivers. But behind this calm, a dark legend lurks. The story dates back to the time of the American Revolutionary War, where it's said that a German horseman lost his head in a fierce battle. Since then, he appears every night, searching for his lost head and attacking anyone who dares to walk in the darkness of the forest. This horseman was named the Headless Horseman, and it is said that a curse drives him to search for his head every night, and he will not stop until he finds someone to return it to him.
We cut to an elderly man named Elias telling his story by a campfire, his hands trembling. Elias: one dark night, I was returning from the village when I heard the sound of powerful hooves behind me. I thought I was imagining it, but something was close. It was like a massive horseman, but headless. I tried to run, but it felt as though my feet were nailed to the ground. I couldn't escape. Flashback shots. Elias running between the trees, with the headless horseman chasing him quickly, the sound of the horse's hooves nearly shaking the earth beneath him.
Since that night, the nightmares of the Headless Horseman haunted Elias, and he swore never to approach the forest at night again.
The scene shifts to a young reporter from the channel meeting with the village elders in front of the forest. Reporter: we've heard a lot about the Headless Horseman, but is there really something like that?
Village elder, in a warning tone: yes, my son. Not everyone believes, but those who have seen him were never the same again. Madness is all that remains in their eyes. My advice to you: do not go near the forest at night, and do not try to call out to him. He might just answer you.
The scene shifts to a film crew entering the dark forest at night, equipped with cameras and dim lights. Narrator: our team decided to take on the challenge and enter the forest late at night, attempting to document the presence of the horseman. The darkness was intense, and the silence was charged with fear. All they could hear was the sound of their footsteps on the fallen leaves.
One of the team members whispers, "Did you hear that? It sounded like hooves."
Narrator: then suddenly a massive shadow appeared on the horizon. It was a headless horseman, riding his horse, quickly approaching them. The team began to run frantically, but something held them back, preventing their escape. Narrator: in a terrifying moment, the horseman drew closer slowly. He whispered in a faint voice, as if requesting something. "Return my head." The young man was terrified, dropping the camera from his hands, and the screen suddenly cut to black. Narrator: one team member was left alone in the forest after they got separated. As he tried to find his way out, he found the Headless Horseman standing directly in front of him, as if waiting for something. Narrator: in a terrifying moment, the horseman drew closer slowly. He whispered in a faint voice, as if requesting something. "Return my head." The young man was terrified, dropping the camera from his hands, and the screen suddenly cut to black. Narrator: one team member was left alone in the forest after they got separated. As he tried to find his way out, he found the Headless Horseman standing directly in front of him, as if waiting for something. The scene shifts to the narrator appearing in the darkness, his face dimly lit by a faint light. Narrator, in a low, eerie voice: we don't recommend anyone to try. If you fear the dark or believe legends are mere myths, don't take the risk. But if curiosity has taken hold of you, remember, the Headless Horseman won't hesitate to chase you until you join his victims. Do you dare to visit Sleepy Hollow?